Hi, and welcome to Leading in Times of Uncertainty. My name is Jim Livingston. I'm going to be your host for the next 5 minutes. VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. This is a term that's been thrown around for quite some time now. But when we started thinking about VUCA, we started thinking about what sort of message does VUCA actually give to employees. And this is what we're kind of hearing. Disrupt or be disrupted. Traditional business is dead or dying. Artificial intelligence, automation, they're the future. Upskill or be left behind. Not really inspiring messages, especially if you're an elderly worker. And we've thought about this, and these messages have had a lot of negative connotations for quite some time now, whether it come through the media or through organizations. And then all of a sudden, bang, COVID-19. People dying, panic buying. You've got working from home, you've got countries being locked down, industries closing overnight, you've got reduced income for millions of people joining the unemployment line. How are people feeling right now? When we talk to people, there's 4 things that we see consistently come through, and they are: 1, uncertainty. There's a lot of uncertainty out there. People are uncertain about the future. They're uncertain about the future of their job, their organization. They're uncertain about the future for their family. They're uncertain about how long this is going to last, how long they're going to be in whatever situation. And because of this uncertainty, you see quite a lot of anxiety and stress building up with people, as people worry more and more as they're very uncertain about the future. So uncertainty is one of the core things that we see people experiencing right now. But on top of uncertainty, there's also instability, in that you've got things changing around people rapidly. You've got some people being forced to work from home. You've got forced lockdowns in some countries. You've got stay-at-home notices for some people. You've got schools closing down, having to find daycare. You've got people losing their jobs. You've got salaries being reduced. All this instability that's going on right now, depending on how that's managed, could lead to disappointment with people. They might end up feeling disappointed about their organization. They might end up feeling frustrated, maybe even angry, there might even be despair setting in about this whole instability. So we've got uncertainty, we've got instability, but then there's also this feeling of being disconnected. Now, studies show that traditional remote employees, remote workers, 50% of them don't actually feel engaged with their employer. And that's in a typical sort of remote sort of worker sort of role. In this scenario, you've got people being disconnected, right, all of a sudden without any real sort of preparation. And that disconnectedness for a lot of people could lead to loneliness. Loneliness is something we hear quite a lot. Some people may even feel voiceless, where they don't feel that they have a voice because they have been disconnected. And in some really bad scenarios, people might feel unappreciated because of that disconnectedness, because they're not able to sort of get their opinions and their thoughts and views across. So we've got uncertainty, instability, disconnectedness. And then fourthly, one of the other things that people are experiencing in a big way is negativity. I mean, just turn on social media, turn on the TV. It is doom and gloom everywhere. And all this negativity leads to what we call negative bias, or a doom and gloom mindset, where it can take people down this spiral of, negative thoughts that build on one another and start becoming almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy with this negativity. For some people, this leads to a fight or flight sort of mentality, where some of them will stand up and fight for everything they've got, and some of them will run away. So we've got uncertainty, instability, disconnectedness, and negativity. 4 things that people are experiencing right now in this, in this very, very uncertain time. The big question is, what should leaders be doing about it? Because they have a really important role. Whilst this is by no means the definitive list, there's 5 things that we believe leaders should be doing now more than ever. Firstly is listening. What are your people saying? What are they not saying? How are your people feeling? Now more than ever, leaders need to have their ears to the ground. They need to be listening to everything that's going on. And it's so important that they actually make a conscious effort to listen. Not hear, listen. And there's a very big difference between the two. So listening is absolutely one of the 5 key attributes. Secondly, empathy. Listening is not enough. You really need to empathize. You need to put yourself in the shoes of your people. You need to be receptive to what they're experiencing. You need to be receptive to what they're feeling. You need to show that you understand and care. That simple act of listening and showing empathy and showing people that you care can make the difference between someone feeling negative and positive. Someone feeling unstable and someone feeling stable can make a huge difference. So we've got listening, we've got empathy. Thirdly, we have communication. Communicate with your people. Create opportunities for them to communicate. Use different communication channels. Give them the opportunity to see one another, talk to one another. It's really important right now that you step up the way you communicate. If you communicated with your people 2 or 3 times a day, you need to do that 2 to 3 times more than normal. Communication now becomes so important because that communication will help to alleviate a lot of the stress and anxiety that people have. So we've got listening, empathy, communication. Fourthly, transparency. There's no point hiding the truth. It's really important that leaders be open and honest about the situation. It's really important right now that leaders encourage their people to be open and honest. Be open and honest about how you feel. All right? That openness, that honesty, that sharing of those feelings helps to alleviate a lot of the stress and the frustration and the tension that people are feeling. So we've got listening, empathy, communication, transparency, and finally we have be a beacon. Now more than ever, people need something to look towards. So be really positive. You may not feel positive, but it's important that you show people that you're positive. Focus on the positives. You might have a lot of negative stuff going on at work, right? Okay, you have to deal with some stuff, but it's really important that you look at things from a positive perspective and get your team to look at things from a positive perspective. Trust your people. It's so important right now. I'm hearing stories about people being forced into remote working environments where they have to put on a webcam from 9 to 6. I mean, that doesn't show trust in your people. And in fact, that lack of trust actually exemplifies a lot of the feelings that people are experiencing. So it's really important that you be that beacon, that you lead the way, that you demonstrate you set a good example, that you show that enthusiasm, that courage. You rally your troops behind sort of that beacon and towards that goal. So there we have it. Uncertainty, instability, disconnected, and negativity. 4 things that people are experiencing right now. The simple act of listening, showing empathy, communicating more, being transparent, and being a beacon can make the difference between uncertainty and certainty. It can make the difference between instability and stability. It can make the difference between people feeling disconnected and them feeling connected. And it can make the difference between them feeling negativity and them feeling positivity. There you have it, leading in times of uncertainty. I hope you found this useful.